Fáilte roimh arás go fáil mí mis Gaeilge. Welcome back to Let's Learn Irish. Level A1, topic Cuid. Rannóg a chathair, caitheamh Aimsire Cuid hAon, ag díriú stacar bheith Labhairt. So level A1, topic 5, section 4, Pastimes part 1, focusing on speaking. Lamúna, ceistin agus freagraí an Aimsire Eorpach, an imrín tú ladóg, imrím ní imrím, agus a grá cén uair a dhéanann tú rudaí éagsúla. So questions and answers in the present tense, for example, do you play tennis? I do. And saying when you do certain things. An Aimsire Eorpach, hAon. The present tense, number 1. Sa Gaeilge, tá gach bríothar leathan nó cóil. So in Irish, every verb is either broad or slender. Cad eile tá leathan nó cóil sa Gaeilge? What else do you know is broad or slender in Irish? Sin é na gutaí, that's it, the vowels. So féchann tú ar na gutha deireanach sa bhríothar. You look at the last vowel in the verb to determine whether it is a broad verb or a slender verb. Leathan nó cóil, broad or slender. Féach, broad, so leathan. Immer, the last vowel is an I, so it's cóil. Éist is cóil, because E for the I-S-T. Sein is cóil, to play an instrument. Te is cóil, T-E-I-G-H, and the asterisk beside te is to denote the fact that it is an irregular verb, and there are 11 irregular verbs in Irish, and sometimes the beginning of the verb will change during the different tenses for those 11 irregular verbs. An Aimsire Eorpach a dó. Chun an Aimsire Eorpach a dhéanamh, tugann tú an phréamh den bhríothar, agus an chuid a aigheann tú san óclór, agus cuireann tú deireadh leis. So to make the present tense of the verb, you take the root of the verb, the part that you find in the dictionary, and you put an ending to it. Beag an billow Caitheamh Aimsire leathan nó cóil uait don gníomhaíocht seo. You'll need the handout leathan nó cóil for this activity. Leathan nó cóil, broad or slender. Féach ar na bríothar seo a leannas. Look at the following verbs. An bhfuil na bríothar seo leathan nó cóil. Are the verbs broad or slender? Aiscríomh na bríothar sa chéad fursa uatha san Aimsire Eorpach. Rewrite the verbs in the first person singular in the present tense. To do that, chuir an deire ceart leis an bríothar. Put the proper ending with the verb. AIM, no I am, depending on whether it is broad or slender. Seasan an M do me, so the M here stands for me. So an example would be dún, to close, dúnim, I close, D-U for the N, A-I-M, and it's A-I-M because dún is a broad verb. Líon an Gaeilge seo isteach ar dús. Fill in this grid first. Tardús, broad or slender, leathan no Gaeilge. Shine or shen, depending on where you're from, to play is slender. Feach, to watch or to look, is broad. Ri, slender, Gaeilge. Éist, Gaeilge, slender. Déan, to make or do, broad. Con, to sing, broad. Cas, another word to sing or to turn around. Caitheamh, turn around, is a broad or a leathan. And bóil, to hit or to meet up with somebody, is slender. So leathan, a broad verb, for example, feach, is going to be, because the A makes it a broad verb, we're going to add the ending AIM, feachim, I watch or I look. Slender verbs, for example, éistim, Istim, shenim, I play a musical instrument, SEINN, I am. Imrim is a multi-syllable verb, and I am or I for the M. So the endings, shen, shenim, feich, feachim, ri, rihim, éist, éistim, con, canim, cas, casim, búil, búilim. Agus inis ceistena agus freagraí, and now we'll look at some questions and answers. An bhéachan tú an telefís? Do you watch television? And your answers, remember in Irish there is no word for yes or no. You use the verb to create your answer. Féachim, ní éachim. An déan tú go dtí an fictúrlan? Do you go to the movie theater? Téan, ní héan. An éistin tú leis an radio? Do you listen to the radio? Éistim, ní éistim. An shenan tú an guitar? Do you play the guitar? Shenim, ní henim. An imrian tú ladóg? Do you play tennis? Imrim, ní imrim. And we'll review those. I'll have you repeat the question after me and then answer it out loud. An bhéachan tú an telefís? Féachan, ní éachim. An déan tú go dtí an fictúrlan? Téam, ní héam. An éistin tú leis an radio? Éistim, ní éistim. An shenan tú an guitar? Shenan, ní henim. An imrian tú ladóg? Imrim, ní imrim. And now we'll practice. I'll ask the question and I'll have you answer it. An bhéachan tú an telefís? An déan tú go dtí an fictúrlan? An éistin tú leis an radio? An shenan tú an guitar? An imrian tú ladóg? Now take a moment and read through these out loud by yourself. Ceistena agus freagraí continued. Cad a Harlíonn nuair chuirtear an éireann cheisteach an roimh an mríthair. So what happens when they put the question form on before the verb? What have you noticed happens? And you've probably noticed that it's a uru. On puts an uru in front of the verb. Cad a Harlíonn tar éis ní. What happens after ní in the firm diúltach, the negative form of the answer? You've probably noticed that ní adds a shevu to the verb. So on plus uru ní plus sévu. Clachta, practice. An éistin tú le ceol. I'm going to have you answer in both the affirmative and the negative. An éistin tú le ceol. An déan tú go dtí an fictúrlan. An imríonn tú pell. So éistin, ní éistim, téam, ní héam, imríonn, ní imríonn. On this slide, we're going to take a look at teanglann.ie, teanglann.ie, which is the online dictionary, one of the online Irish dictionaries. So when you put in the verb te, this is what pops up. You have 5 different options here. You have an folklore Gaeilge Béarla, so Irish English, an folklore beag, which is a smaller dictionary, the English-Irish Dictionary de Bhaldratha, and Gramadach, which will give you, if it's a noun, it'll break it down and give you the singular, the plural, the Tishilgenadach, etc. And then Fáilreacht, which will give you the pronunciation for the 3 different dialects. So if we look at the verb te, you'll see here that is the root of the verb. And then when we go over to Gramadach, when we click on the Gramadach tab, you'll see that te, it's telling us it's a bríomhair, a verb, the anam bríomhaire, the verbal noun, and the verbal adjective. And then down here, you'll see they conjugate the verb for you. So if you look at this drop-down menu, from that menu, you can choose which tense you would like to conjugate the verb in. Right now, it's showing Aimsire chaite. So using that drop-down menu, you'll see you have the options Aimsire chaite, Aimsire lárach, Aimsire áisteanach, Mo chanílach, Aimsire gnách chaite, Mo ordatha, and Mo fahítach. So right now we're working with an Aimsire lárach, and we'll take a look at that. And so we have our Aimsire chaite, and it conjugates it in the singular and plural. So uha singular, first person, second person, third person, tean, tean tú, tean sé, tean she. And then ever alra, the plural, tean mead or tean widge, which is the firm scarha. It's the separated form of the verb. And then tean shiv, you go, tean shead, they go. And then the servriher, the autonomous verb. So if you're ever in doubt on conjugating a verb, make sure to use teanglann.ie and click on the Gramadach term, and it will conjugate the verb for you. And you can double check your spelling or any of the irregular verbs if you're not sure. For this next activity, beg an billo, caitheamh aimsire, ceistena chuma uait. So you'll need the handout, caitheamh aimsire, composing questions. So ceistena a comma, composing questions. Tá lista bríomhaire agat agus tá lista de cineálacha caitheamh aimsire híos. You have a list of verbs, and there's a list of different types of pastimes below. Lé amach do lista, ceann ar ceann, agus críochnaigh gach ceist le caitheamh aimsire i Rannóg ón lista híos. Read out your list one by one and complete the question with one of the pastimes from the list below, an appropriate one. An sin come gá ceist eile. Then compose 2 more questions yourself. Ná déan darmad ar an rial a bhaineann le an san Aimsire lárach. Don't forget the rule that goes with using on in the present tense. On plus, how does it change the beginning of the verb? It adds an uru, and so don't forget. So pause the video here while you complete the activity and then come back for the frag read, the answers. An imríonn tú pell, an déan tú ag rith, an seanann tú an guitar. It's good practice to always repeat these after me. The more you repeat them, the more they'll go into your memory. An éistin tú le ceol clásicach, an bhéachann tú ar an nuacht. an déantú go dtí an fictúrlan. Agus sin deir le Caitheamh Aimsire Cuid hAon ag díristeach ar ceiste agus freagraí san Aimsir Lárach, an imríonn tú ladóg, imríonn ní imríonn, agus a rá cén uair a dhéanann tú rudaí agsúla. So that's the end of part 1, asking questions and answering them in the present tense and saying when you do certain things. Tá na nótaí agus bilóga oibre le fáil in éineacht le cóid fuaimne agus nasca na cuisle, suíomh lúscartaí. The lecture notes and worksheets to accompany the course, along with the MP3 files and Quizlet links, this is a flashcard website, are available. The original files are available to download at Teastas Eorpach na Gaeilge, teg.ie, or edited versions can be found at my website, simplyjacintha.com. Direct link is in the description box below. Míle buíochas do Theastas Eorpach na Gaeilge as cead a thuairt dom úsáid a bhaint as na háiseanna closamhairc atá le fáil ar a suíomh. Many thanks to Theastas Eorpach na Gaeilge for their information to use, the learning materials and resources that are available on their website. Tásúlgam gur bhain sibh tanna bhas. I hope you enjoyed it and got some use out of it. If you did, like and subscribe and share with your friends who may be interested in learning Irish.